Good morning, everybody. Welcome to HRD 631. We are now entering week number 10, module number 10. Keep up the great work. I mean, we're making tremendous progress. We have a couple of our major assignments coming up over the next few weeks, including the beginning of our exploration project facilitation. And as you know, this is the week that you will facilitate our learning for the class. So with that in mind, I want to once again ask everybody to, if you have not signed up for a week to present, please jump on this link and do it today. I'm going to finalize the schedule for tomorrow, and I'll send that out, the final schedule tomorrow or tomorrow or Tuesday. So, but from your standpoint, if you signed up for week number 4, or actually week number 14, that you can consider yourself slotted in for that week. So the schedule is filling up. We only have, the last I looked, we only have one person signing up for the first week. So if you've signed up for weeks number 2, 3, or 4, meaning weeks number 12, 13, or 14, and you want to get it over sooner, I would appreciate you going to the poll. I'd like you can edit your response, and if you want, you can put it in the first week. So it'd be nice if we had either 2 or 3 people presenting in the first week. If we only have one, we will adapt. So if you do want to switch, you want to go sooner, you want to get it done sooner, you're going away for, school vacation week, whatever it might be, you might want to get it done before then. And so that's the first thing I'd like to highlight. Please, if you haven't done this, please go and select that. As you can see, we are now in, like I said, week number 10, and there's a couple of topics in this week, but one of them is learning styles. And I don't think everybody in the class has determined their learning styles. I think there's probably a few in the class that have done so in either previous classes or part of your professional life. So I'll quickly go through the materials and what it is I'm asking you to do this week. Well, the first thing is you're watching this video. It hasn't been inserted, but it will be when you get this. Learning styles. This is the week that we are in. Excuse me. That is, it starts tomorrow. Learning styles, read chapter 15. Specifically looking at these pages, I'd like you to complete the Kolb Learning Style Inventory, participate in the discussion forum, and next week is basically, I say to be determined, excuse me, it's a mouthful. We are going to have our exploration project presentations starting next week, but if we only have one student, I may augment that one student's materials with some others. So at this point, these are just some ideas that I have at this point, and it could be a combination of 2 of those. For those that have not submitted your exploration project annotated bib and learning organizers, please do so by tonight. If you need a little extra time, that will be acceptable, and just contact me. Now, just a word on this. For those that are presenting early on, meaning in weeks number 11 or 12, I am going to give you comments back on your learning organizer and your annotated bib. I will work on your assignments first, and then those that are presenting in weeks number 14, you will be the last ones to get your grade and also your comments back. And the reason for that is the people that are presenting next week, they need to know right out of the chute if there's some issues that I see with the learning organizer in particular. So that is it. For those that are presenting, I will send you information by probably midweek on how do you load your materials. It's simple. It's basically how do you do a discussion post. You just add some additional information to it. So learning styles. What are we doing this week? We're taking a look at learning styles. Absolutely one of my favorite topics in in the world of adult education, and also you could say in K-12 education. Now, from my initial study of this topic, I certainly have changed my feelings about learning styles, and I still think it's very important, but I think that there's some really maybe there's some discrepancies in ideas surrounding learning styles, and I'd love to hear any comments on that on the discussion for the discussion board this week. When I first learned about learning styles, I was teaching skiing at Sunday River, and I listened to a professor talk about learning styles, and truly it was the first time I'd ever heard anything that described how people learn differently. And this was as evidenced by on the ski slope. I used to teach the early skiers, the beginning skiers, and I love that age group because they were so open. And one of the things I loved was the real major differences between the groups. Now, there was one group that wanted to hang back. They wanted to hear everything that I everything that I had to say about how do you stop, how do you stay in a wedge, how do you turn, things like that. They wanted to know the mechanics. Take a look at the opposite side of that. There was always a group, certain number of people in every group that they really didn't care what I wanted to say. They wanted to know the basics, then they wanted to point their skis downhill, and they would learn as the result of coming down the hill. Now, it's not that simple. Even the group that just wanted to know how to come down the hill, yes, they wanted to experience and learn that way. But then they, in certain ways, they wanted to come back and they wanted to ask me questions about how do you do that. So it's not either or. It just describes, in effect, how we prefer to take in the information and then how do we process it. So I'd like you to read a brief overview on learning styles. Chapter 15, focus on this part. I have provided a summary. Yeah, it's somewhat academic. You got to realize my doctoral dissertation and my research was about learning styles, specifically on Kolb, David Kolb's learning styles. There's a PowerPoint presentation in here that describes Kolb's methodology, how he put people in kind of boxes. An excellent video on his experience. And as you can see from the screen, and it might be small for you, but his idea, first of all, there's four different, there's concrete, reflecting, abstract, and then active. So as you can see, if you look at the opposite sides, these people over here learn by watching. These people learn by doing. It's the friction between, and I'll put it in skiing terms, this group was generally infuriated by this group, and this group was generally infuriated by that group. This group just wanted to do, and they got frustrated that they couldn't do because the watchers were slowing them down. And the same thing. Concrete experience, some people, something definite happens, and the abstract people down here are more, they can read something, they can, an idea may come to them in a different way than having a concrete experience. So I really hope that you enjoy the materials this week. It's a fascinating subject for me, including these terms. The group over here, this group, they're diverging learning styles. And what is in this quadrant, what is the one question that they ask, this group over here? They ask why. What is the group over here? They say what if. And that's a big one. So when I hear somebody say, why are we doing this? Well, they want to know. They learn by feeling and watching. And so enjoy the video, enjoy the material. So I'd like you to do the learning style inventory. I'd like you to take the inventory. Unfortunately, all of the online Kolb learning style inventories are now blocked. And so I've had to resort to using a paper version. So go to the PDF, download that, fill it in, take a look at the understanding the different learning styles, and then I'd like you in the discussion forums to say, okay, as determined by Kolb's assessment, what's your learning style? Did the results surprise you and how? So here are some other ones. If you want to answer 2 or 3 of these, that would be fine. If you want to clump them all together, that would be fine. This is one of my favorite discussion forums of the year, and hopefully it is for you also. Once again, Exploration Annotated Bib and Learning Organizer is due today. For those that need a refresher, here's the video. Don't worry about any dates in there. It's just about the process. And here we have some samples. Okay, once again, a reminder, if you haven't filled out your selected date you want to present, please do so as soon as possible. And that is really it. All of the materials is here. You know how to do the discussion forums, PowerPoint, annotated bib organizer, learning style. That's live. Everything's here. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there's a link that doesn't work, please let me know. I'm here to help. Hope you have a chance to get outside today, at least for a little while, and I'll be in touch. I'll send out the doodle poll by probably Tuesday. If you have not done so, please do so as soon as possible. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you online.